I really need fall camp and the season to start because I'm going to have a whole bunch of I told you so's that I'm going to have to get off my chest sometime during the season. So let's get this thing started.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thanks for making Locked On USC. It's part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Whether you're watching the show on YouTube, you know you can pick your platform. You could download this podcast, and however you want to listen to it, wherever you view it, this show is always going to be free. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Once upon a time, Steele, the college football magazine, it's like the Bible. It was your preseason go-to. Everything you wanted to know, everything you needed to know, you bought Phil Steele's college football magazine. It was like must-read TV, if there was such a thing. Now, today, as far as I'm concerned, it's trash. It's a crock full of crap, a bucket full of BS. It's terrible. It's like somebody is just taking a bunch of spaghetti, throwing it on the wall, and let's see what sticks. Let's see if they'll believe this. Anyways, Big Ten preseason all-conference teams. Got to go over this. Yeah, it was bad. We're gonna talk about two things from Phil Steele's magazine regarding and how it affects USC. We're going to start with the preseason all-conference teams. Then we're going to talk about how he ranks teams 1 through 10, 11 through 25, all the way through 136 FBS teams. And then in the third segment, we're going to talk about the offensive line. Someone asked me a question. I'm going to give you the answer. First, let's talk about the where USC got snubbed all over the place. I'm telling you, I'm going to be telling you, I told you so all season long. All season long. So let's just start on offense. Quarterback, Phil Steele magazine gives you first team, second team, third team, fourth team. I did not anticipate seeing USC's quarterback on this list. So I really don't have a whole lot to quibble about. First team quarterback, Drew Allar, Penn State. Second team, Luke Altmaier, Illinois. Third team, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. Fourth team, Nico Iamaleava, UCLA. The takeaway here, experience is obviously the common denominator. I've been talking about it the entire offseason. The returning quarterbacks in conference got like two. Drew Allar, Luke Altmaier. Everybody else is kind of starting over, including the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. So seeing Fernando Mendoza on the list, seeing Nico Iamaleava on the list, 13, 14 respectively, that just tells me that we're looking for whoever has the most experienced quarterback in the conference. Drew Allar, obviously, Luke Altmaier, he's returning to Illinois. They're coming up a 10-win season. Makes sense for those two. As far as how this affects USC plays against Illinois and UCLA this year. So we'll see if Jaden Maiava is better than anybody on this list. He'll have his opportunities. What about running back? First team, Mekhi Hughes from Oregon. Nick Singleton, Penn State. Second team, Jonathan Coleman, Washington. Katron Allen, Penn State. Third team, Justin Haynes, Michigan. James Peoples, Ohio State. Fourth team, Darius Taylor, Minnesota. CJ Campbell, Rutgers. Again, this is one of those throw the spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. Total crapshoot. Number one, Hughes is a transfer from Tulane. All right. He's good, but he's transferring from Tulane. He's now moving up competition. We'll see. Having Peoples on the third team is just wild to me. Last year, 49 carries, less than 200 yards. But that's good enough to be third team. In 2024, while playing for Alabama, Justice Haynes, Michigan's third team running back, all conference third team. As a sophomore for Alabama last year, he appeared in all 12 games, started in 6. He rushed the ball 79 times, 448 yards, 7 touchdowns. His best game came against Western Kentucky. He had 102 yards on 4 carries. One of those carries went for 85 yards. So I get it. He played at Alabama. He's got to be good, right? Right. And then that's almost as wild as CJ Campbell sliding in on that 14, a transfer from Florida Atlantic. So why not Eli Sanders? Why isn't he on the 14? He's a transfer. He actually rushed for 1,000 yards last year at New Mexico. Anyways, USC will go up against Mekhi Hughes at Oregon. And then you got Justice Haynes at Michigan. Third team, he'll be traveling to the Coliseum later this fall. This one really got under my skin. This one particularly, the wide receiver group. First team, Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State, Elijah Surratt, Indiana, Denzel, Boston, Washington. I'm okay. That's not really what bothered me. Second team, Mekhi Lemon, USC, Evan Stewart, Oregon, Cornell Tate, Ohio State. Third team, Dane Kay, Nebraska, Trebor Pena, Penn State, Devontae Ross, Penn State. Let's get to the fourth team. You get DT, or I think it's DT Sheffield, Rutgers, Jacoby Lane, Nick Marsh, Michigan State. Here's my question. Give me the answer. Hit me up in the comments section. How in the hell does Phil Steele have a guy who's going to miss the entire season on the second team, Evan Stewart? He's out with an injury. And you're going to put Jacoby Lane on the 14? It's just kind of stupid. Terrible list. I mean, if I was comparing the stats from Evan Stewart and Jacoby Lane, it doesn't even matter. In one season, 13 games last year, Jacoby had more touchdowns than Evan Stewart has had so far in his entire 3-year career of 31 games. Yep, let's just keep moving forward. I'm telling you, by the end of the year, someone from Phil Steele's magazine is going to handwrite an apology to Jacoby. That is so much disrespect. It's disgusting. Tight end, again, no quibble here. First team, you got Max Clare, Ohio State, Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon. Third team, Jack Velling, Michigan State. And then fourth team, you have Dorian Fleming at Maryland. Offensive line. Let me just put it to you this way. No USC offensive lineman made it on first team, second team, third team, or fourth team. That's all I'm going to say. I think it is scandalous that Elijah Page or Alani Noah weren't even mentioned. But guess who's on first team? Remember that guy, Emmanuel Prignon? Yeah. First team. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. Despite a lot of pundits nationally, not just myself, you're hearing a lot of murmurs, a lot of whispers, talking about how good USC's defensive line could be in 2025. I mean, we know how much they improved last year, and that was with, not a lot of depth. Only Keyshawn Silver made the cut, and he's on the 14. This definitely feels like, let's just prove it to us. They put USC's defensive line on that prove it to us list, because you look at what they have on paper, the talent level is undeniable. But apparently there's other guys out there that they think belong on the preseason all-conference team besides Keyshawn Silver. You've got Mikhail Kamara from Indiana, Mikhail Kamara, Indiana, Aaron Graves, Iowa, Zane Durant, Penn State. You got Gabe Jacobs at Illinois. Good, supposed to be a good rush in. We'll see if he can do it 2 years in a row. Second team, Matayo Ungalele, Rashawn Benny, At Michigan, Eldrick Houston, Ohio State, Danny Dennis, Sutton, Penn State. Third team, Ethan Herkett from Iowa, Hosea Wheeler, Indiana again, Devin Eastern, Minnesota, Derek Moore, Michigan. 14, Anthony Smith, Minnesota, Keyshawn Silver, USC, Parker Peterson, Wisconsin, and Eric O'Neill, Rutgers. Anthony Lucas, no consideration. Okay. All right. I get it. Linebacker. Well, Eric Gentry made the list, 14. Here's two things that stood out. Number one, keep in mind, USC's scheme doesn't play a lot of three linebacker sets, at least not a lot. They like to do it when they're going up against run-heavy teams. Secondly, the reason I think Eric Gentry is so low, or he squeezed in on the 14, probably his injury reputation. He has to wear that around his neck like he's got an anvil, around it. That's his bling, an anvil around his neck. We know what Eric Gentry is capable of doing. Mentioned it before. The guy was leading the country, leading the nation in tackles before he got injured in the Penn State game and missed the rest of the season. Will we see Desmond Stevens later make this list? I think so. I think he's that good. So again, this is preseason. We'll see what happens come postseason. Cornerback. USC made the cut. DJ Harvey made the list. Third team. He's paired up with Davison. I'm not even going to try and butcher this last name. Igbin. So Igbin Osen, Ohio State. You got D'Angelo Ports from Indiana, Xavier Scott, Illinois. Second team, Theron Johnson, Oregon, AJ Harris, Penn State. I mentioned third team. And then fourth team, Takario Davis, Washington. And then you got Javere Hill. Yeah, Javere Hill. That's a hard name to say. From Michigan. Javere Hill. All right. I don't have any issue here because USC lost Jalen Smith and Jacoby Covington to the NFL. We'll see who can step in besides DJ Harvey. Safety. First team, Caleb Downs, makes sense. Dylan Tinnerman from Oregon, the transfer from Purdue. Second team, Coy Parrish, Minnesota. Zachy Wheatley, Penn State. Third team, Kamari Ramsey, Rod Moore. Rod Moore plays for Michigan. Fourth team, Preston Zachman and for Wisconsin and Matthew Bailey for Illinois. Do me a favor, flip Kamari Ramsey with Coy Parrish, and I'm cool with this list. Zero issues. I think putting Coy ahead of Kamari is a little bit of a reach. Again, this for me just feels like Phil Steele reaching out and saying, oh, all these Midwest teams, they deserve to be here. USC still prove it type of situation. USC was represented well on special teams. Third team kicker, you have Caden Chittenden. And then, oh, by the way, you remember Atticus Bertram, the punter who never made it into USC? He made 13 for Wisconsin, along with Caden Chittenden. And then you got long snapper, Hank Pepper. So again, great representation. Makai Lemon, second team kick return. Not first team. Same thing on punt return. Whatever. Punt return, they've got Hank Beatty from Illinois and Tyler Drzanski from Penn State. Second team kick return, they've got Drew Stevens and then Makai Lemon. The way this thing is listed, it's hard to read. I apologize. Anyways, that's it. That's your representation. In the next segment, I'm going to go over what I think was bad. Wait until I give you his top teams list. Not just 1 through 10. 1 through 136 FBS teams. We can do that in the next segment. Summer sports, it's here, full swing. Baseball, pretty much it. Fall camp right around the corner. So whether you are all about baseball, maybe you like going to baseball games at night, you like golfing on the green, or do you like doing that soccer action? Are you into that? The other football. FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action, right? So why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It's easy to use, it's fast to pay out, and it makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether you're placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like you're part of the action. So if you're new to FanDuel, new customers, you can bet $5. You're going to get $150 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. It's that simple. Open the FanDuel app today, or just go ahead and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon, and you can get started. I swear. Phil Steele's 2025 preview magazine, it's just terrible. This year, it is just garbage. It's birdcage liner. Let me just run through the top 10 real quick. Penn State makes sense. They've been on pretty much everybody's number one preseason list. They return a lot of guys at key positions, including quarterback, both their running backs, and they got some good guys on defense as well. Number 2, he's got Notre Dame. I thought that was a little curious. He feels Notre Dame's going to be back there in the championship game, or at least making another playoff appearance. He has Notre Dame above Texas. I would probably switch those two. Alabama at 4. All right. Not sure why, other than, well, it's the name Alabama. Pretty sure they lost their bowl game too, right? Yeah, they did. Excuse me. They lost to Michigan. Well, that's the 4th best team in the country, according to Phil Steele. Number 5, Ohio State. A lot of turnover on that roster, but again, benefit of the doubt. They've been recruiting really well over the years. Number 6, he's got Clemson. I think a lot of this has to do with them returning Cade Klubnik at quarterback. 7, Georgia. Okay. Here's where his list really starts to sink really hard, really fast. Oklahoma at number 8. God. Yeah, they finished 6 and 7 last year. No offense to my Oklahoma Sooner fans who listen to the show daily. Thank you. I appreciate it. Boomer Sooner. But having Oklahoma at number 8, that's just wackadoodle nuts. Sorry. I don't care how good you think John Mateer is at quarterback. Bringing in a new offensive coordinator, there's going to be an adjustment period. Washington State is not playing in the SEC. He's stepping up the level of competition. What about number 9, Texas A&M? Really? The team that USC beat in the Las Vegas Bowl, Phil? Number 10, Florida? Yeah, okay. Here we go. 11, LSU. Remember, USC beat them in Vegas as well to start the season. 12, Michigan. 13, Oregon. I'm going to read off. I'm not going to go through the entire list. I'm going to read the teams that USC will play this year. So you've got Michigan at 12, Oregon at 13, Indiana at 16, Illinois at 17. There's going to be an adjustment there right off the bat. Indiana and Illinois play each other before USC flies out to play Illinois in game number 5. USC, they chime in at number 21. Okay, not bad. Scrolling through the list, you got Iowa at number 31, Nebraska at number 35. Keep going. You've got UCLA, 52, Michigan State, 54. I think this next one, you got Northwestern at 63. This next grouping is going to kind of make you go, really? Bill, what are you thinking? So I know Purdue is going to be down this year, but is Georgia Southern, Clay Helton's crew, they're the 84th best team in the country. Purdue was at 106. Should we be concerned now? Does that Georgia Southern game at the Coliseum in week 2 frighten you? More so than going on the road and playing at Purdue? Oh, and if you're wondering where Missouri State clicks in, remember, there's 136 teams. Well, Missouri State is 135, just ahead of Kent State. So, you agree with that list? Is it as bad as I'm making it sound? USC at 21, all right. But Oklahoma ahead of them at 8, Texas A&M at 9? Come on. Give me a break. Florida at 10? Really? I get it. DJ Lagway is supposed to be pretty good. But what about the rest of that roster? And let's not forget Billy Napier is still their head coach. All right, one more segment to go. Got a question from somebody. I didn't want to wait till next Monday's mailbag to answer it. And why not? Let's talk about the O-line. Let's do that in the next segment. So, Mark, got a mailbag question for you. On the offensive line, which spot do you suspect will be a pleasant surprise, and which position will be a liability? Again, it's a great question, and I didn't want to make Stephen Ross wait until Monday to answer it. So, as I mentioned, I want to talk about the offensive line. I'm going to do a preview of each position group before camp opens, but why not do a little preview? I guess that's the best way to look at it. To answer your question, Stephen Ross, I have a feeling that right tackle and at center, that's going to be a pleasant surprise. I think Tobias Raymond, I think he's going to he's going to man up. I think he's going to own it. I think he's going to own that spot like I own a Tommy's cheeseburger. Yeah, he's just going to grab it, eat up everything in sight. That's what I do. When that thing's in front of me, yeah, it's gone. And I can do it in 5 bites. I don't encourage it, but I can do it. I also think the guy snapping the ball to Jaden Mayaba, whether it's General Jeonre Reed or Kill Switch O'Connor, Killian, the guy in the middle of the line and in charge of the and communicating the calls, he has to be the guy that this year. And I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. Whomever wins that job, USC's in good hands. This is the person who's taken over for Jonah Monheim. As I mentioned, not only do you need somebody who can, call the shots, you want somebody who's a mauler, someone who can hold his ground. You need someone with good football IQ. Like I said, you got to be able to recognize what the defense is doing, lining up in front of you, making those calls. I know Killian is super intelligent. Spoken to him. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show before. Speaking to Jeonre Reed, Syracuse isn't a place for dummies. And when I spoke to him during spring camp, I came away really impressed. Not just because he's so effervescent and outgoing, but just his knowledge, the way he talked about the game. So I think that's where I think people will be pleasantly surprised when it comes to the offensive line. Now, as far as the liability, you got to shore up that left guard spot as soon as possible. I'm not telling anybody anything new. Everyone's probably on the same page. Speaking of page, Elijah Page, Alani Noah, Tobias Raymond, those guys have played together. They played with Killian at center. So if DJ Wingfield is going to be that guy, he's got to take it. He's got to go shore that spot up. Because right now, I think left guard is really and I'm using finger quotes for those of you listening, that's the liability right now on offensive line. Just got to get it figured out. As a whole, I think if Coach Riley commits to the run game, helping out the offensive line, that will also be pleasantly surprised there. Start using that size and that physicality that you've been recruiting, developing. Start using those guys to bully others. Because when you're strong in the run game, I think confidence really grows with offensive linemen. Pass protection just becomes easier. It feels easier. I want to see this year's offensive line play like they're in a mosh pit. Pretend it's the 1980s. Yeah, social distortion, Black Flag are on stage. If you know, you know. I want those guys to be running around violent, putting hands on people, pushing them out of the way. Again, if you've ever been in a mosh pit, you know what I'm talking about. Last year, USC's first season in the Big Ten Conference, we all watched with horror and amazement the way the Big Ten refs allow offensive linemen to hold with impunity. So, as they say, when in Rome, right? I hope you learn that lesson. Here's something else I will be pleasantly surprised with. If USC's offensive line does not allow any sacks through the first 3 games, I don't even think that's a tall order. I don't think that's too much to ask. Considering the competition, I don't think so. Look, USC did not have anyone from their offensive line room get any love from Phil Steele. So that's what I'm saying. Go out there, own the mosh pit. Seriously. And then just wait for all those handwritten apologies later in the year, because you're gonna get some. There's just too much potential in that room. Elijah Page, I think the light came on after the Michigan game. He kept getting better as the season went on. How do you not have a third-year starter at right guard not make third team, 14, let alone first or second team? I mean, you saw experience played a big role in Phil Steele's selections. Apparently not with Alani Noah, though. So there you go. There's a little preview of the preview for the offensive line. Hopefully, Stephen Ross, you liked the answer. If I didn't answer your question, let me know what you wanted to hear or what I didn't address. Anybody else, you got any questions? Hit me up in the comments section. Get those questions lined up for the next Monday mailbag. All right. That's it for this episode. Don't forget, get on over there to wearesc.com when you're done making Locked On USC, part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Don't forget about Brian Smith over there at the portal. You can watch that show on YouTube as well. And then scoot on over to wearesc.com. A lot of content for you. We're getting you ready for the season. And we're almost there. Yeah. 52 more days until USC kicks off against Missouri State. So until then, everyone, you know what to do.